Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News Watch. I'm Liz McKernan.
And I'm Jeff Skrypek. Our top story, Arizona's first case of swine flu. It's confirmed in an 8-year-old boy.
And fears of a possible pandemic shut down a Valley school. Tonight, officials across Arizona are taking action, coping with the ongoing swine flu threat. Cronkite News Watch has a team of reporters covering this possible pandemic from all angles, from the state's response to keep you safe to a boom in online flu tracking.
Let's begin with reporter Amanda Q, who traveled to Moon Mountain Elementary School in north central Phoenix, where the boy who contracted the flu goes to school. And now school is out for at least the next 7 days. Amanda?
The day that Arizona officials have told us about has finally arrived. The first confirmed case of swine flu forces a Phoenix school to close down. The 800 student at Moon Mountain School were sent home with this letter to parents explaining the situation. Today, we learned that the 8-year-old boy who contracted the swine flu virus has recovered, but following federal guidelines, county health officials say the prudent move was to close the school for a week. I spoke with a concerned parent today who was a little surprised about how the school handled the news.
I'm sure that they did the best they could do with the information they had, but it did concern me a little bit when I found out that the governor knew about it before I did about my own kids.
They're telling them not to congregate together in large groups. Don't defeat the purpose of closing the school in the first place by hanging around together too much.
As far as we know, no other students have been infected by the virus, and health officials say that if the virus did exist in the school, it takes about 48 hours for it to die. So the school has taken precautionary actions by shutting it down for 7 days before resuming classes. State health officials and Governor Jan Brewer spoke about the case today and Arizona's reaction on the spreading swine flu. Reporter Ryan Cody was there at the afternoon briefing. Ryan, what did you learn?
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Well, the Arizona Department of Health said that the boy fell ill over a week ago, meaning that the virus has been here long before community concern. And Governor Jan Brewer led the briefing today that included both state, county, and school health officials. The boy's recent international travel history is still unclear at this point, but so far all cases in the U.S. appear to behave just like the regular flu virus. Governor Brewer insists choosing to close schools that have evidence of the virus is not overreacting.
We don't want a big panic in Arizona, but we certainly do take it serious, and we'll do everything in our power to make sure that as we go into this flu season, if you will, whether it be influenza or the swine flu, that we are prepared and ready to attack it from all different manners.
Is that 7-day closure
Meanwhile, state health officials say that no matter what the state does, it's really up to the residents to stop the spread of the swine flu.
Part of our prevention effort really depends on folks at home paying attention to those tried and true public health interventions that happen every single day.
Yeah, these include reminders like frequently washing your hands. If you have to sneeze, do so into your sleeve. And most importantly, if you feel sick, just stay home. It's most important that you don't infect others with the disease if you already have it. Live in the newsroom, Ryan Cody, Cronkite News Watch.
Thanks, Ryan. We've also learned today that Arizona has already received 25% of its allotment from the federal flu vaccine stockpile.
Yeah, meantime, this confirmed case in Arizona brings the number of swine flu infections to 91 across and 10 statewide. So new cases were also reported today in Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, and Indiana. According to the Centers for Disease Control, 5 people have been hospitalized, but the death of a Mexican child in Texas has people on edge. And thousands of people are turning to the internet to track the flu outbreak on their own. Reporter Emily Graham has that side of the story live in the newsroom. Emily?
With the global spread of swine flu, many people, those that are tech savvy and even those that are not, have taken to the web to track down the virus. We looked at some ways that could help you figure it all out. As we learn more about the H1N1 virus, also known as the swine flu, we're seeing many ways to distribute information.
Federal health officials are reporting
swine flu breeds in pigs.
Organizations and concerned citizens have taken this flu and turned it viral.
Now you have the swine flu.
And people are also turning to Twitter to get out fast information to each other. The only problem, though, is that some people are slamming Twitter, saying a lot of the information is inaccurate. But there are more informative ways and more accurate ways you can use the web to stay up to date and keep track of what's happening around the world. Sites like World Health Organization's Disease Outbreak News Center gives you breaking news updates and historical references. The Center for Disease Control has travel precautions and warnings for concerned travelers. And for those that want visual information, check out healthmap.org. This organization has sorted through multiple websites to create a map showing of where swine flu has been confirmed. Now, while searching the web for updates, one thing to keep in mind is check out the source. Most of the government sites like the CDC and World Health Organization sites are pretty accurate and safe. But what can we learn from a pandemic that had no technology to constantly track it? Reporter Carly Campo is looking at how Americans dealt with a fast-spreading, deadly disease nearly a century ago. Carly?
Emily, in 1918, the pandemic virus spread from coast to coast in about 3 weeks, killing an estimated 675,000 Americans, which is one reason why today the government is trying so hard to keep the cases isolated. Scientists consider the influenza pandemic of 1918 the most severe in recorded history. The virus trailed along the heels of World War I, killing between 30 and 50 million people worldwide. Frighteningly, the 1918 flu is the same subtype as today's swine flu and has some other similar characteristics.
The population that is targeted the most are actually young adults. So people otherwise, are doing really well.
Dr. Carol Baskin did a study comparing the 1918 flu to the more recent avian flu. She says the current swine flu is a reassortment or genetic shift between human, avian, and swine influenza viruses.
And that's really the deadly combination. Because, all of a sudden you have a virus that people can get infected with very quickly, can pass from human to human, and however, there's no prior immunity. And I'm afraid that this is what's going on right now.
Today's scientific advances, however, provide an arsenal of information to help combat potential pandemic threats. Unlike in 1918, we have effective drugs like Tamiflu. We also know that pigs are in some way connected to the spread of this virus, which is a lot more information than scientists had with regards to the 1918 flu.
It's this particular virus right now. We have a much better handle on the genetics.
Despite having a better handle on this strain, Dr. Baskin says everyone should be cautious because the potential impact of this virus is still unknown. In 1976, there were 200 reported cases of the swine flu, all isolated to Fort Dix, New Jersey, killing one person. Live in the Cronkite News Service Bureau, Carly Campo, Cronkite News Watch.
Thanks, Carly. Again, experts expect many more cases of swine flu to hit our communities. The World Health Organization has raised its pandemic alert for the swine flu to the second highest level. Now, that means that scientists believe a global outbreak is imminent. The Phase 5 alert means there is sustained human-to-human spread in at least 2 countries. It also signals that efforts to produce a vaccine will be ramped up. The state of Arizona has a hotline set up to answer questions about the swine flu. That number is 1-800-352-3792 on your screen. You can also get national flu updates from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That web address is cdc.gov/swineflu.